Welcome back. Eating healthily is my diet healthy for entrepreneurs, freelancers, remote workers, busy people. Today, someone told me that they had a 100% healthy diet, and that I've also heard stories of people saying, I don't eat that much. People tell me these kinds of things. And then they're frustrated when they don't get the results when it comes to weight loss, or they're wondering why their weight change is so slow. And the question I have for you is, how do you know what you're eating and what's in it if you've never tracked it? How do you know that that is not a factor in your weight gain or why you're not getting the results you want? In this video, I'm going to tell you why you should probably try a 3-day food record, how to do it so you can take confident ownership of your path to freedom and fitness. Welcome back. My name is Reggie. I'm the founder of Fit for Freelance, where I build adaptive business leaders through compassionate health coaching. Science-based is a core value, and that supports realistic focus, which is a key part of the guilt-free framework. All right. So what I have people do, my new clients, when they start the guilt-free game plan, they start it with a 3-day food record. What happens when they do that, they find out like maybe there were some things you hadn't considered. And if you don't track your food at any point, you're kind of guessing on what could work, what might be good for you. But it takes a long time to see results from your food and how that affects your energy levels, if it affects how you can concentrate when you're doing your work, if you're going to have weight gain or weight loss results, your overall health, because you're kind of going back and forth. You don't know the nutrients and what's in your actual food. All right. And so most people, they get stuck starting with all or nothing calorie restriction. If you put in, you want to lose weight into an app like myfitnesspal, it gives you a 1,200 calorie diet. Or you might just think, I'll just fast, I'll skip breakfast, I'll skip as many meals as I can. And that is a terrible way overall to approach new weight loss or changing your health habits, because what that does is that sets you up from failure right from the beginning, where you don't even know how many calories you're starting with. Leave a comment if you know how many calories you're eating per day, roughly on average. A lot of people might guess is around 2,000. Maybe they think they eat a little more, it's 2,100 or something like that. But you're probably doing something way different from what you expect. And that's why it's so valuable to track your foods for a while. Okay, so the main goal when it comes to weight loss is shifting your calorie balance. You want to use more calories, burn more calories, and then take in fewer calories by eating fewer calories. So you can eat higher fiber foods that don't have as many calories. A lot of fruits and veggies are lower in calories. The point is, you need to shift that calorie balance regardless of how strict you are tracking your diet. You need a baseline. All right. So to get this baseline, what I want you to do is try a food tracker app like myfitnesspal. I've got a link below in the description on YouTube, the 9 best food tracker apps according to registered dietitians. So you can pick one out of that. MyFitnessPal is the one that I use. It's just real straightforward. You don't have to keep using these food track. You don't have to track every single calorie when it comes to changing your diet. What you want to do is start out with a 3-day plan. Just eat normally and track it. Don't judge what you're eating. Don't try to change it. Don't start with a diet and then start, switching up your plans. Or, a lot of people will say, well, now that I'm watching what I eat, I might as well skip more meals, or only put in things that I want, or only eat things I'm comfortable with. That's not the point of this exercise. What we want to do is get a real good baseline for where you are now in your typical life, in your normal habits. Click like if that makes sense to you, if this is something that you are open to trying or that you haven't considered before when it comes to healthy eating. All right, so what happens when you do this, you know how many calories you're taking in, what kind of nutrients are in it, your fiber, grams of fiber per day, are you getting all your vitamins, minerals, all that stuff becomes apparent when you log your foods in an app like this. It tells you where you are relative to what could be expected for someone at your height and weight. All right. And then what you do is you take an average of the 3 days for your personalized baseline. This is a big thing. If you take something off the internet that's not customized to you, then you're going to have a hard time maintaining it because it's not related to where you started. And so you want to know where you are so you can assess that and use science to drive your decisions and make adjustable, sustainable changes. After you do it for 3 days, come back, leave a comment. Were you surprised at your results with what you saw when you're tracking, keeping your food record, food diary, etc.? All right. And when you know where you are today, you can make a gradual, sustainable change over time. So some tips that I have for you now that you know your baseline when you come back to this video or after you're doing this is I want you to first of all prioritize your fiber intake. That's a big part of it. A lot of people are really low on fiber, maybe 1 to 3 servings of fruits and vegetables per day. You want to increase your fiber. That's going to give you tons of health benefits. It's going to help you sleep better. It's going to help you lose weight. There's no calories in fiber or water, so you will feel satisfied without loading yourself up with a ton of extra calories from fat or carbs or proteins, even because it has more fiber in your diet. Also, reducing your risk of several chronic diseases. So, you want to make sure you prioritize your fiber intake. Next thing you want to look at your vitamins and minerals, especially iron and calcium, two really important vitamins. The iron is going to be a big factor in your hemoglobin, which is how your body circulates air throughout using blood. And then if you have low hemoglobin, you're going to feel fatigued, tired. It's going to make it hard to concentrate. And a lot of people, especially women, will be low in hemoglobin and not know it. So if you aren't eating enough iron or supplementing or taking in enough iron, then you're probably going to have low hemoglobin. That's going to result in you feeling more tired than you need to be. So this is why it's valuable to track a food record to see where your iron is coming in. And calcium, important for heart contraction, and it's in your bones and some other things that your body uses with it. So you want to make sure that you're getting enough calcium in on most days so that over time your bones don't weaken and you have osteoporosis. All right, so vitamins and minerals are crucial. And then when you track your foods, you know if you are even close to how much you need, your recommended daily values for these foods. Two other things I want you to look at when it comes to your food record: saturated fat. Are you getting way too much of that? It's very easy to do. Like if you have some ice cream, pint of ice cream, some milk, something like that, really picks up. Or sodium, salt. When you go out to eat in restaurants, they typically use a lot of salt to flavor the food, and that's going to have a big difference and increase that number for you. So you want to be mindful of these things, and it's easier to be aware of them after you track them in your food record. Next, what I want you to do is look at the most obvious ways you ate extra calories that you didn't really enjoy that much. When you do that, it's a very straightforward thing. Maybe you just had like a whole pizza instead of half a pizza and a salad or something like that, right? So you can make little adjustments. Aim for 200 fewer calories per day based on that 3-day average, 5+ days per week. And that doesn't mean to go crazy on those other 2 days, but just be mindful of, the more often you eat 200 fewer calories, the more likely you are to get results, or the more sure you are to get results. All right, something else you can look at is portion size. I mentioned it briefly. When you have these foods and you put that you had like 3 cups of something versus a chance that you could have just had 1 cup of it, it makes a difference. And so when you can identify that clearly on your food record, then you have a chance to be like, well, maybe I shouldn't eat so much of that next time. You don't have to eliminate foods. You can just eat fewer, like a smaller portion of those foods in order to get the results that you want. Okay, so keep those portion sizes in mind. And that's a big thing. I'm pretty much anti all or nothing diets. I talk about all the time. The all or nothing diets are what creates temptation and is not rewarding. And you feel like you're punishing yourself. And then when you can't keep up with an all or nothing restrictive diet, then you feel bad about yourself. And that's not an effective way to promote weight loss or make things sustainable for you, because as soon as you're off your diet or whatever, then you're going to go back to eating those foods that you really enjoy and love. So that's why that portion size is a valuable thing to track and then adjust as necessary. All right, so I don't always recommend restrictive calorie counting or strict calorie counting because it can cause anxiety. If some people are very focused on that, that can cause you to potentially develop an eating disorder as well. So it's not common, but it's something that does happen at times. So there's a link below to the flexible food game plan. And I'm going to make a video on that soon. That's a good way to make sure that you are kind of counting your foods and making healthier choices and building confidence without obsessing over counting calories, because that's not really going to help you lead a healthy, fulfilling life of your dreams if you are always wondering how something fits into your calorie budget. Sometimes you have to enjoy the foods you enjoy and just keep them in context of your diet. All right. That's something I talk about often. Stop trying to lose weight fast. So what may seem like only 200 calories per day fewer might not be enough, or might not make a difference, but 1 pound of fat is about 3,500 calories. So if you cut back on 200 fewer calories per day over 30 days, that's about 6,000 calories. And you can lose 1.7 pounds per month based on the math of that. So that's a pretty impressive number when you think about how many calories are in one serving of soda or a can of soda or like a 20-ounce bottle. Soda is pretty much one of the worst ways to lose weight. If you are interested in that, I'll put a link to that video, Stop Drinking Soda, if you want to lose weight because you want to cut back on that. So it can be a small change that you make over a long period of time that can get you the results that you want. But it starts with tracking it. And that's why that food record, that's why this video can be very helpful for you if you feel like you don't eat that much or your diet is 100% healthy, but you're not getting the results you want. All right, so that helps you with that realistic focus. That's one part of it. The guilt-free framework, confidence, realistic focus, and accountability. So when you have realistic focus and you see that you can do it, that's those two parts. And a process for ownership, the value of accountability, having a coach can come in really handy. That's something I specialize in. I have a link below to guilt-free game plan coaching. And if you want 7 tips while you're tracking your food, so the next 3 days you're going to be doing the same thing, but you're getting ready for that next step. The Health Habits Challenge is a free challenge that you can take. It's like a newsletter with different tips that you can adapt into your daily life about what to buy for groceries or eating breakfast or planning your meals, meal prep, those kinds of things to make healthy eating easier for you. And so you can reach your weight loss goals without all or nothing diets or obsessing over counting your calories. But it starts with having that baseline. All right. So click like if this makes sense to you. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about your food record. And next you can watch, warning, are you about to start a low calorie diet? Because this is what happens when you start with a 1,200 calorie diet or fewer, you start skipping meals, you run into all kinds of problems. So you need to know where you use your calories in your body so you can make the best choices. Your health supports your life. As always, keep practicing. Peace.